In this demo, we will overview Savynt's Segregation of Duties module. So let's get started. Log in to the Identity Cloud. After you have logged in, you can navigate to Segregation of Duties module from the left navigation menu. SOD stands for Segregation of Duties. As you expand this, you will see various different sections pertaining to SODs, including a dashboard, a workbench where you can look at different SOD violations, mitigation controls that you have created, different rule sets that are available which will help you define the risks, and then there are other features like simulation. We will look at SOD violations. Now, we understood that SOD violations are basically the combination of risks. A risk is presented when a user has toxic combination of access. For example, if a certain user has access to create an invoice and the same user has access to approve an invoice as well. Similarly, every application can have hundreds and thousands of entitlements which give them access to perform a certain functionality. Each entitlement corresponds to certain type of access. Now, what you are seeing over here is we have run SOD violations job, and this job scanned the access of all the users in the organization, and they found which all users have that toxic combination of access, that is SOD violations. Now, these violations are presented on this workbench, which we can now review and take an action on. So for example, let's review this first violation. This violation is for Oracle Cloud ERP and Oracle EBS application. Similarly, the second one is for SAP application. This violation is a cross-application SOD because this presents the entitlements from two different applications. And this one is from just one single application. So let's take a look. I will open this particular violation. Now here, to look at it at a very high level, there are two functions. Function 1 is vendor master maintenance. This is a function a user will be able to perform in an application. And these are the list of entitlements that will let him perform this particular function. The second function is maintain purchase orders. This is the second function a user can perform in an organization in SAP application, and these are the list of entitlements that will help him maintain purchase order. Now, as per the risk policies for this application, no user should be able to have this function and this function at the same time. If anybody has that access at the same time, that is an SOD violation. And it looks like this particular user has this SOD violation because he has this function and this function. Now that we have the visibility into the violation, we know that the admin user has access to both of these functions. Using this SOD workbench, we can take some actions here. So what are the actions that we can take? So we have this menu here. There are two main actions that we can take. First is remediate action. This means that we can remove one of the functions from the user and then the SOD will be automatically resolved. So this user can either maintain purchase orders or he can have the access for vendor master maintenance. So if we remove one of this, that means we are remediating the SOD. So from this workbench itself, you can click on remediate. And then the tool itself gives you an option to choose which access you want to remove from the user. So you can also view more information on what will happen if you remove this particular access and what will happen if you remove this particular access. Now, based on that information, the SOD admin or your compliance officer can take an action. Let's say he decides to remove this access. So he can choose it from here and he can click on remediate now and confirm. What this will do is the system will automatically revoke that one access from the user, and then that means the SOD violation will be removed and the violation will move from open state to remediated state, and later it will be closed. The second option is, I'm going to open this another violation. The second option is, now here in this one we have two functions again. Oracle Cloud ERP enter journal is the first function, and then payables payments is the second function, right? So now the second option is to mitigate this particular SOD. So what mitigation means is, as per my company policy, I'm willing to accept this violation for a certain period of time. So let's say some people are out on vacation and we would want one person to take care of both the duties, but we are fully aware that he has this access and we are continuously monitoring this particular access for the user, right? So we are monitoring that he does not take any riskful action using his access. So by adding mitigating control, we are basically accepting the risk for a certain period of time, and then once we have accepted the risk for a certain period of time, the risk will move from the open state to risk accepted state in the SOD violation workbench. So here you will see that we have already accepted some risks in the past. You can see 22 risks over here. So you can click on that and view the risk that has been accepted. And the risk can only be accepted for a stipulated time period. You cannot accept the risk forever, right? So for example, here it actually says the risk was accepted on this date, and then this is the end date. So once the end date reaches, your violations will again move to open state and you will have to take an action on them. So this is a quick overview of segregation of duties violation workbench on the Identity Cloud platform. Thank you.